What's up, Wrong and Strong family? JC. I am Wrong and Strong. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell, leave comments. Today we're going to talk about a prison gang that people have been asking me about, because in one of my videos I talked about how I sat with the Paisas. What's up, guys? JC with Wrong and Strong, and I'll be a little serious today. I feel like being serious today. You know I'm not gonna be serious. Alright, guys, so when I first went into federal prison, late 90s, there were a lot of people. Actually, you know what, let me take that back. There wasn't a lot of people in the federal system that were there for illegal entry. There was a couple. A lot of them were homies from California that, you know, I guess came over at a young age and didn't have papers, and they grew up in California, and you know, and they started banging and got arrested, caught cases, and then they got charged with illegal entry. It wasn't a big deal because back in the day they would just toss you over back to Mexico and that was it. It wasn't really a big case unless you got caught a bunch of times. Well, when I went into the feds in the late 90s, there was a lot of Mexicans that, you know, had got caught, you know, moving drugs, doing stuff, and they were in the federal system. They were not organized. They were not considered a gang. They weren't considered nothing because they rode by themselves. They hung out by themselves, and just, you know, they just didn't click up. Well, all that changed, you know, going into the 2000s, because some of them were getting taken advantage of. Some of them were you know, pushed or just. This is the thing, guys, that in prison, whether you like it or not, you're gonna ride with somebody, because you're not gonna be alone. The only way you're going to be alone is if you PC up, you go to the hole. That's the only way. You're going to ride with a crew, because let's be honest. Prison is fucking prison. There's a bunch of wolves in there. You don't want to be the fucking victim. So you're going to sit with somebody, because everything is ran routine. Everybody has their own TV. Everybody has their own tables. Everybody has their own phone. Everything works by either race or gang. In Chicago, for me, it was very, very different, because it's by gang over there. It's not by race. We have white land kings, we have black land kings, we have fucking Chinese land kings. So it's not by race, it's by gang. So you have folks and people. So that's how the state pen is ran in Illinois. Somebody was like, don't say the yes. That's how I fucking talk. So it's all ran by gangs. We sit down by whether you're folks or people, and that's how we click up in there. Now, when I went into the feds, it was more by race or by cliques that were together, like the Sureños, the Aztecas, and they clicked up in different stuff. So you got a bunch of Mexican nationals, you know, they don't have no TV, they don't have no chairs, they don't have nowhere to sit. And guess what? They start arresting them in the early 2000s for illegal entry. They start putting them in by the hundreds. When I say by the hundreds, I mean by the hundreds. When I was in Florence, in Arizona, they were bringing those buses in every day with illegal entry and, like, you know, meals, crossing over weed in the desert and shit like that. But they were bringing in by the hundreds. So now you got a bunch of guys that don't have a table, don't have a TV, pretty much don't have no rights. And in prison, that's not good. So they actually got together, got organized, you know, picked a spokesperson and got, I mean, it's getting organized. That's what happened. They got organized. They fought for a table. They fought for a TV. And when I say fought, I mean politic. Like, sat down with all the head guys, you know, of all the big gangs that already are organized in the feds. Because in the feds, I used to be a little bit different. So you got all these guys now, and they're classified as a gang now in the feds. The word Paisa is classified as a gang now in the federal system, and actually some state prisons also, because they've actually organized themselves and are together. So now, you know, you go into a place. I remember when I did time in Arizona, I went into the county jail, 4th Avenue, and I walked in, you know, and I'm pretty cool with everybody. I know how to do time. I go in, I see the AZ cats, the Chicanos, you know, and I see the Paisas, and the AZ cats come up to me, of course, because, you know, I look American. So he's like, yo, who, you know, what's up, where you from, where are you gonna sit? And to me, it was all new with the whole split of the Chicanos and the Paisas, because in my culture, like Latin Kings, it's in our bylaws that any Latino, because we know Latin Kings, any Latino that goes into the system, we take care of them because they're Latin. So it's in our bylaws to actually look out for these people, you know, if they're like neutrons. Neutrons being they're not in a gang, they're not affiliated with nobody. We look out for them so they don't crash, they don't get taken advantage of, and we look out for them. We're like their big brother. So when I went into AZ and they told me, hey, you're gonna have to pick if you're gonna sit with the Paisas or the Chicanos, I was a little bit taken back, because like, to me it's like picking between my mom and my sister, because my sister's born here and my mom's from Mexico. So I was like, why are we separated? We're the same. And it wasn't like that. It was really, really segregated in the county jail. And it tripped me out because, like, we're deep. We're Latinos and Mexicans. There's a lot of us. So to me, it tripped me out. And right away in my head, I'm like, it's just the system, you know, breaking us up so that way we don't hold power. But then, you know, I started, you know, looking at things and everything. And it was a little bit more, because we have different culture values, we talk different, we play different and everything, so people don't see eye to eye, you know. So the Paisas, actually, I want to say in the early 2000s, I want to say 2000, a big ass riot kicked off in La Tuna with the Aztecas and the Paisas. They hit it off in the yard, they went at it, and they, I guess, had enough. You know, and they fought for their shit. And now you go to every yard, they're deep. There's a lot of them. You know, there's a lot of them. But a lot of these dudes are not gang members. They're not. You know, you have a couple of dudes that are like fucking lowlives, and they are part of like gangs in Mexico, or part of other gangs that are on the border, like Border Brothers and shit like that click up with them because they're all Mexican. But half of these dudes are all workers that came to the United States, you know, trying to get that dream and just work. So a lot of these dudes ain't really like soldados. They really ain't, you know, down for the business. But there's so many of them that they're classified. I mean, they had, in Lompoc, I think they had 1, 2, 3, 4 tables. That's a big amount of tables. They had their own TV. They had their own like time at the weight pile. They had all that stuff. So they got organized, and you get to have all these privileges, because in prison, I mean, it is what it is, man. You have to fight for everything. Everything. TV time, phone time, privileges at the store. You get workers here. You get workers in the kitchen. You have to fight for everything. So they had to organize in order to come together. So it's Paisas. Is it a gang? I would say yes and no, just because, like I said, half of them are not gang affiliated. They're not cartel affiliated. They're not. They're workers. That's the part that I need to like explain to people, because they've been asking me. They're workers that came over here, got caught illegally, so they got 4 years. So they're doing time now. So they have to click up. So they're gonna sit with their own people, because that's who they feel comfortable with. Is there a couple of them that are gang members and stuff like that? Yeah. The federal government classifies them as Paisas, as a gang organized crime. Yeah. Because they're organized and they fight together if something happens. When I was at Lompoc, I got in. There was nobody there from Chicago. Obviously there were no Lion Kings there. There was nothing from my home or there was a couple AZ cats that I kicked it with, but I decided to sit with the Paisas. Why? Because I'm full-blown. I consider myself, even though I was born in the United States, I consider myself very, very Mexican. I'm very, very rich in my culture. I got sent to Mexico every year for summertime. I grew up in my town in Guanajuato, Moroleon. So to me, like, I'm straight Mexican. If you ask me, I'm Mexican, Mexican-American. So I feel comfortable with these people. I feel comfortable with how they play. I feel comfortable with how they talk. I feel comfortable how they bullshit. So that's who I decided to sit down with. That's who I decided to get down with. So, you know, you pick who you're gonna get down, and if the business happens and you have to get down, you're gonna have to pick who you're gonna ride with. There is no, I'm gonna stand over here in the corner and just do me. It don't happen. It don't roll like that. It don't happen like that. And sorry to tell you, you're not gonna make it long. Have I had incidents at other prisons with Paisas? Yeah, I have. But like I said, they're not considered, in my eyes, they're not a gang like I would say the Bloods, the Crips. They're not a gang like that. There's a bunch of dudes coming together to actually survive. So that's the way I look at it. So is Paisas a gang? Yeah, they're organized. They're organized and they come together to you know, take care of business if something happens. You have to be like that in prison. There is no such thing as standing alone. There is no such thing as I'm going to stand over here in the corner and just let things happen. No, it doesn't happen like that. It doesn't roll like that. You won't make it. You know, and I hope that I don't offend nobody. I'm just giving you my thought on things because of what I've seen, what I've done, the time I've done with all these guys. I've been cool with everybody, the homies. I've been cool with, you know, Aztecas. I've been cool with a lot of people because I carry myself very with a lot of respect, and I respect people that respect me. And I've been friends with different kind of people, different environments, different gangs. The only way that I won't fuck with you if you are a child molester and a rat. Sorry. It is what it is. But prison life it's just hard, man. It's not easy. Like I tell you, I do not glorify nothing that I did or what I'm doing, or I share this so you guys can be informed, so you don't crash, so you don't do stupid decisions. And that's what it is. Wrong and Strong is the story about my life, prison, in and out the system, 17 years, making bad decisions, why I became a gang member, why I started working for the cartel, why I started doing all these things, and sharing the positive change that at the end of the day, it is possible to get past depression, past PTSD, past you being a felon, and all that stuff, and actually changing your life and becoming a new you. That's what it is. It's positive change. And this is why Wrong to Strong was born. This is why I train at my facility. This is why I do what I do. This is why everything that's happened is put into place for a reason. The pain that I went through my childhood and my past is why I'm here today and why I'm sharing my story. I'm JC. I am Wrong to Strong. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Hit the bell button. There's going to be more stuff. Let me know on comments what you guys want me to talk about. There's a lot of stuff out there. I'm going to be talking about the Santa Muerte on one of my other videos. Putting that together right now. And the 10 inmates not to do time with in Mexico. Alright? Check it out. Check you out, man.